Alright. Bit late. Hello. Apologies. I had to go grab a vacuum cleaner. Bit late. And that's my stream on in the background. Alright. Stick the music on. And let's just get going. We all know the drill by now. Oh, that was a lot of stairs. So, something's clearly gone wrong here. Good start. Why do I not have an extra Weasel Cyanide game? There it is. Alright. Off we go. Oh, no worries, Dale. I'm pretty sure it was, what, a week ago or something where I fucked up and forgot that I was supposed to be streaming, so Jet had to cover me. I'm sure someday you'll get to return the favour. Alright, so we got Weasel versus Cyanide. Now, Blues, the Royal Knights, they're in a pretty good position at the moment. We're trying to... What does it take for them to actually lose? I mean, if Cyanide wins this, then they get 4 victory points. So that just might move them completely out of reach. I think we agreed it was... What was it? It was... Green needs to take a game, needs to capture the neutral tile, and win the free-for-all. Okay, 3 won't flip the territory either way. Oh, no, wait, it's red. No, it still won't. Alright. Well, let's let Gent worry about that. We got Squirrel Pigeon, Skunk Cam, Snake Boar coming from Weasel against Squirrel, Lizard, Ferret, Cam, Owl, Mine. You know, does anyone else feel like we're seeing Ferret a lot more in this tournament than we are in, like, regular ranked play? Maybe that's just me. How's school going? Good and bad. Bad news is I got one of my exam results back and it was only a 52 out of 100. Good news is that's still enough to give me a first overall because I did so well on the other exam. Alright. Field coming in. Cyanide could take this, but he's actually losing a lot just retreating. He might have lost too much, as he's not microing to focus fire units down. Cyanide had more army there. He didn't need to lose that fight, but he decided to retreat and get back to... Rather than waiting for his... just taking the fight here and letting his army catch up, he decided to retreat, which meant he just took a load of shots in the back. And now Weasel has a Chameleon up. He might be able to do something. There's a lot of squirrels here. He might be able to gun this down. No, it goes to half health. Those 2 squirrels holding off so that they're covering the retreat. That's a phrase. Mostly because everyone is more willing to experiment in tournaments. Is that how it goes? Do people take rank points more seriously than tournament wins? That, honestly, might be how it works, yeah. Alright, so Squirrel v Squirrel. Cyanide needs to tech up here. Field Marshal Weasel's got the Chameleons. He's getting the Skunks up. He's going to have such a good army against just a mass Squirrel build. Cyanide is going for Ferrets. I don't think those are really what he wants in this situation. Now, they will be good at poking, so maybe he can just set up a really big minefield like he's doing and just poke from within it. Because I'm pretty sure Ferrets might be able to reach that mill from this corner. Oh, but he's putting the mines down. He's supply blocked. This could work for Cyanide. I was thinking he might want to just go for lizards or his own cams. He needs to have his army close to pick off any unit that walks into this minefield. Okay, ferret number 1. Okay. Skunks try and clear the mines and get blown up. Cyanide needs to stay behind these mines. Those mines have done so much work, but their mines are gone now. How's he going to accomplish this a second time round? He's focusing the units rather than the mill. That was a mistake by him to ever try and focusing the mill down, because there's no way he was going to get it. He doesn't have enough economy to keep on putting down that many mines repeatedly. So how's he going to do this the next time this army moves in? Because he's behind in economy. Well, actually, the economy's got even. But Field Marshal Weasel was ahead first, and he has so much higher tech. And each attack is getting a little bit further in as these mines just get used up. Not to mention Cyanide losing one of his ferrets was a major blow. And this sort of stutter stepping isn't working when against a larger force. The chameleons go down again, but these skunks are being a real problem. Cyanide is completely supply blocked on everything. Hey, guys, right. That's game 1. Weasel takes it. Weasel is definitely the favourite in this matchup, which is good for those who want to see this tournament go on a little longer. But unfortunately, I don't think this is a hugely influential game, given that Red is so far behind. Even if they were to take territory, they wouldn't be able to move up. Red is basically dead. Now it's just a matter of, can Red stop Blue from getting any extra points? Or Green, because if Red can hold off against the Penal Squad, then that could let Blue win. The Royal Knights. They just need to end this week. I think it's 5 territories ahead. So this could be the last week of the multi-factions. Field Marshal Weasel taking a risky stance, going with 2 forward Squirrel Warrens, but Cyanide isn't responding very well. He's decided to go for 2 lizards, and that just isn't going to work. A few of his lizards getting picked off, but the reason it's not going to work is because lizards aren't as good on defense as they are on attack, and he needs defense. So, because of the wrong choice, like if he'd gone for squirrels, he could have held this. Even with the lizards, he could have held it if he didn't get caught out running out here. He was behind in army. He got his Warrens down second. He needed to just, you know, stay safe, stay at his base. And now I think Cyanide is going to lose, as he sells his Warrens to try and replace the eco he lost, but yeah, it means he has no army to defend when Weasel comes in, and that's going to be a quick victory. Red getting some score on the board. Alright, let's see. So, now we got Mishi versus E308. Mishi stands to gain 3 points here, as but as he is the leader of his faction, E308 will gain 6 points if he wins. So basically, if E3 wins here, then the Royal Knights just win. E308 could end the entire thing right here. Mishi getting 3 off the Royal Knights. I think we did the maths yesterday and decided that there wouldn't be enough for Green to flip a tile off Blue. So Mishi just needs to not lose, because if he loses, then the Royal Knights are going to win. Now, Mishi is... hang on. That's not Mishi. Didn't this game... hang on. Okay, I definitely clicked on the right thing. It definitely was listed as Mishi. Was this game on Jetstream? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try recopying pasting the ones the Mishi games I've been given. Because that might... I'm pretty sure Gent's just mislabeled the games. Okay. Did he mislabel all 3 of them? That's still Dino. Well, we got a Mishi game. I don't think Gent said he wouldn't be around. I'll give him a quick message to say that. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything about that. Fails to cast. What do you mean? I was given the wrong games. Anyway, what we got? We got Mishi against D308, Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Cam, Mine, Artillery against Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Mine. So Artillery for Boar is the only difference in the decks. There's some point doing it. Does everyone... No one wants to find out who won this. Really? Alright. I don't think Gent is going to respond, but fine. We'll move on to Araloo v Parzival. Which, for some reason... Okay. Oh, upside down. Here we go. Parzival versus Araloo. Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Skunk against Squirrel, Lizard, Pigeon, Falcon, Cam, Skunk. So just Pigeon for Toad. Only difference. I kind of think this might go in favour of the one with Toads. What's riding on this game? So will be Araloo. Araloo gets 3 points. Parzival could get 2. Like, this won't flip a territory by itself, even if Mishi won his game. But it will set them up nicely. In fact, the Legion's pretty close to taking territory off... Ooh, the Legion's pretty close to taking territory off Green. If Araloo wins this game, he fills up their bar. And if that happens, if Green goes down a territory, then they won't be able to catch up. Like, this could be really bad. Like, Araloo's a good player. A really high-level player. Not to disparage Parzival, but... Parzival's good, but he's definitely the underdog here. He's going to have to bring out something big if he wants to keep his team in the game. And the map isn't exactly favourable He's got a pretty tough expansion. It's very far forward, and it's right under the high ground that Aralu's got to work with. He might consider just taking a ninja expansion, but I think it would get scouted out pretty easily. And with Aralu's lizards, it's going to be quite easy for him to just run over there. In fact, it's probably easier for Aralu to get to that base than it is for Parzival. And even if Aralu does think this base is risky, which it's not, he can expand here, which is even safer. I don't know. We were bringing it up on Friday. I guess they just didn't talk. A failure on the part of Jacoby and Nishi. A failure on leadership to not do the vital diplomacy. But hang on a minute. Parzival comes in and with these toads blows up Aralu's chameleons, gets his mill. Maybe diplomacy isn't necessary. Maybe it will be, because Parzival overextends and the second chameleon comes out and swats down his army. But Parzival has a mill up and Aralu doesn't. Again, we're seeing something we've seen a lot of recently. Cams struggle to deal with toads. Parzival could have kept that chameleon alive. I don't know if that'll cost him the game, but every little bit helps. I think losing these toads is a big mistake. He needs to keep these toads alive for when the chameleons come out. In fact, speaking of chameleons, I wonder if he's going to sell his. No, he sells the toads. That's a bit risky. The toads have been doing good work. I think he made the right call going up on one farm there. We're about to hit the 5-minute mark. One farm can make a big difference. Two, if he can hold with 2 farms, then he might be able to secure the game. Oh, but the toads don't land on the chameleons, which is what they need to do. And this gives Aralu a major turnaround. Parzival needed to keep his toad warrens up. I think the chameleons are the weak link in his army. And now he's lost his 2 farms. That could turn the game around. Aralu's managed to set up his mill. But Parzival has taken this mill before. If he gets good toad connections on the chameleons, he could take this fight. But he needs to have some good toad micro. He's only got 1 toad with him at the moment as well. Okay, this fight looks like it's going in Parz's favour. He forces a sell on the farm. Both chameleons go down. Parz is running away, but he had the extra. He sells the toads again. I really think the chameleons need to be sold. I really think he'd be better off selling the chameleons and getting more toads. Now, Aralu's in a bit of a precarious position here as he's trying to eco up. Oh yeah, also, Parzival moved in on this right here, close to the cabin, which meant he was suffering a few pot shots. Both players in starvation. Parzival is going to have to sell. Both players are going to have to sell something. Okay. Parzival holds his nerve. Aralu's the one who sells, which means Parz should have an army advantage here. But it doesn't look like it's enough. He's trying to focus fire that farm, but he doesn't get it. If he had got it, then I think that would have been enough to win the game, but Araloo takes it. We move on to game 2. That was a close game. And both players sticking with the same loadouts. I really think Parzival could have had that. I don't know why that last fight went so bad for him. I think he probably didn't have his army all together. But eventually, Araloo's map advantage just brought it full circle. Not full circle. Kind of full circle, yeah. Full circle. Because Araloo was losing and then he won. Araloo was winning, then he was losing, and then he was winning again. So full circle works. It's not the perfect phrase. Weird thing about talking that you don't notice until you get recorded doing it is you forget a lot of words. The more you think about which words to use, the harder it is to actually think of any words. It's weird. Anyway. We're seeing some... we're not seeing anything too special. 8 farms, double warrens. We're seeing Araloo try and hide his warren for some reason. It may make Parzival miscount how much Araloo has. Might make him think Araloo's going for something else. But it is a bit odd. I'm not sure he's going to get too much out of it since he's only hiding one tier 1 warren. And he's not hiding much information, like Parzival knows that it's lizards he's got to worry about. Ooh, now if Parzival moves out, the lizards will have the advantage. If he defends, the squirrels have the advantage. If Parzival isn't at base to micro his squirrels, then the lizards have an advantage. And oh my god, what an advantage they had. There's so many squirrels there, so many lizards there on 1 or 2 health. Oh, look how much different this would be with a bit of focus fire. And that toad hits nothing. It hits 1 lizard, which was nearly dead. And I think this is it. If I'm doing my maths right, that loses greener territory, which I think means they can't come back. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that's what... I'm pretty sure blue just wins now. I mean, let's watch the rest of the game anyway. Watch the free-for-all and the battle for the neutral tile. See what they could have done. We got Gentleman, Epicosity, and 8-year-old Vin Diesel, otherwise known as Rubadub. Gentleman running Lizard, Skunk, Badger, Wolf, Wire, Balloon. No pigeons with his Badger, which is interesting. Epicosity, Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk, Owl, Balloon, Vin Diesel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Campbell, Mine. So a lot of lizards. I think Gentleman is clearly the most experienced with... Well, obviously Gentleman's the most experienced with free-for-alls, because he's most experienced with everything in the game, considering how much longer he's been playing than Epicosity and Rubadub, who are relatively new players. Especially Rubadub. But even if you didn't know that, Gentleman's taken multiple tier 3s, which is really useful in free-for-alls. Epicosity with the owls. The owls might be good enough. The boar from Vin Diesel, I don't know if that will scale well enough to keep him in. I don't think anything's going to beat the Badger Wolf, except for the fact that Gentleman didn't decide to take any pigeons. It might be that he knows he doesn't need them. If he's willing to sacrifice badgers because he'll have so many of them, then he won't need pigeons. He could also just be planning on using the skunks and the lizards for tanking, or he could be thinking that he'll DPS other units down so fast that they won't have time to do any real damage. Okay, so at the moment it's Gentleman versus Epicosity, which Gentleman is winning quite handily. The mass lizards plus a balloon, making short work of a squirrel skunk build. Picking off a couple of ones, but it is starting to bleed out lizards. Meanwhile, Rubber Dub is just sitting on his own, getting up a load of farms. He's not actually that far ahead of Gentleman, he's only one farm ahead at the moment. And has got a lower army, so it looks like Gentleman's just going to 2v1 this. Gentleman's just going to fight both players. And he's making it work. I don't know if there will be any diplomatic alliances set up for this game. Free-for-alls are usually where they happen. Someone will contact someone else and say, hey, let's gang up on so-and-so. Yeah, the Turf Defender is still coming up. That's not this one. This is just for victory points. Okay. Gentleman, by taking this expansion, has placed himself in the middle of Epicosity and Rubber Dub. So he might be... he's in a bit of a precarious position, but the Balloon Barbed Wire combo is going to let him see Epicosity coming in. With his lizards, he can easily run from one side of the map to the other. I think he'll be able to hold. And now he's going up to 16 farms. He's got a good defensive position. Ooh, Rubber Dub looks like he actually wants to attack Epicosity instead. The question now is, when does Gentleman start going for tier 3? It looks like right now. Build a wolf? Okay. It's weird that he's building it so far away from all his defences, because 8-year-old Vin Diesel could easily come in around here and pick off those warrens. It would be out of vision of Gentleman's balloons. Alright. Epicosity also going for a tier 3, but he is slightly behind in economy. And now 8-year-old Vin Diesel, Rubber Dub, going for his tier 3 as well. How does Gent deal with toads? He's basically dealt with them by just not fighting them. He hides behind his barbed wire and his balloons. Like, every time Rubber Dub looks like he wanted to move in, Gentleman has just pulled his army way back and let the toads, and just let the army get picked off by balloons and barbed wire. Okay, tier 3 building for Gentleman, tier 3 building for Epicosity. Vin Diesel is supply blocked on his tier 3, but they are all up. More and more balloons going down. This mill seems to be mainly about tanking, rather than actually for economy. That skunk somehow survives. It's looking pretty good for Gentleman. When he gets up the Wolf Badger combo, it's going to be very hard to burst through. Now, Lizards are pretty good at fighting Wolf buffed units because they can actually keep up. And they're good at fighting Badgers because they can do a high amount of DPS. Oh, the Chameleons get right on the Wolf, nearly kill it. Unfortunately, that mill is tanking so much, so well. Now, Gentleman comes in. Looks like the decision not to take pigeons is paying off. I see his Badger's taken barely any damage. Now he's right on Rubbergub's army, but Epicosity's coming in from behind. But it's not doing too great with all these balloons picking them off. The barbed wire makes it hard for the squirrels to even attack them. And the owl is probably the worst unit you can have against the badger. Gives the badger just so much free rev. Makes it very easy to keep it up at full rev. And gets blasted down nearly instantly. Epicosity looks like he's going to be the first to fall here. Now this badger might die. It's on low health, but Vin Diesel's got a long way to come back. He's finally managed to get his boar out, which isn't great against Badger. It's not great against Lizards either. It's alright against Lizards. It is meant for dealing with tier 1, but the way Lizards align themselves where they just surround means that very few of them will ever actually be standing in the fire. Oh, now, that's interesting. All of Gentleman's army goes down. If Vin Diesel sells his boar, which it looks like he's doing, he might have a chance to eco his way back into this game. I think Rubbergub's playing this right. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to do this, as Gentleman is just selling everything to get a massive, massive wad of live stream and Marauders match. Yeah, sure. Massive amount of Lizards, which is just going to run over these Falcons and the smaller lizard count. The Gentleman takes it. Alright. Gentleman takes the next game. He automatically wins. If someone else wins, then the third game will be a 1v1 between the two winners. Alright, gentlemen. Lizard Owl, Falcon, Lizard Owl, Wire, Machine Gun, Balloon, Artillery. Gentlemen basically running a pile build. Epicosity, Squirrel Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk Balloon, Skunk Owl Balloon. I'm pretty sure this is the same deck he was running last time. And Vin Diesel with Lizard Toad, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Fox. Epicosity's got a pretty good deck against... Well, with the Owls he's got a good deck against defences, but probably not against this many defences. Plus, Gentleman's going to have his own Owls getting up. 8-year-old Vin Diesel. The Fox is basically going to be completely nullified by the Owls and the defences. The Boar might be able to make something happen, but it's going to look bad for Rubbergub. Gent's base is actually pretty decent. It's not the best, but it's good enough. He can set up some defences. He's got a good access to multiple mills. I think this is looking good for... pretty good for Gentleman. And if Gentleman gets this ball rolling, then he'll be very hard to stop. Epicosity and Gentleman both expanding. Vin Diesel sticking with Lizards. Now he starts to expand. Okay, he's going to come in. He could get something done here. Gentleman doesn't have much army, and this is the best time to attack a pile build, when it's starting to set up. This machine gun goes down there, it's going to be a problem. That machine gun is getting a lot of work done. That's premium on Mishi. Okay, I will do that. I will send a message to Mishi asking him if he has the games. What's he called? E308. I don't know if he'll get those. Okay, so it looks like I didn't miss much while I was doing that. Okay, Gent moving on Epicosity, while it looks like Rubber Dub is moving in on Gent, just running through that barbed wire, but the barbed wire does serious damage. Gent losing most of his army to Epicosity there. Maybe Gent doesn't have this one in the bag. He does have a good economy though. He's up to 16 farms, faster than Epicosity and much faster than Rubber Dub. He's come straight in on Rubber Dub's mill, and Rubber Dub isn't there to defend. Oh my god! Huge mistake by Vin Diesel, not leaving his army in a place that could easily defend. He left his lizards up here where there was no need for them to be here. They needed to be down here protecting the mill. And now, Gentleman going for another fully saturated mill. Still no owls, and mainly just barbed wire as defense. Just rely on mass lizards. And if he doesn't go up on anything but lizards sooner or later, then these two owls coming out from Epicosity could do some serious work. Gentleman has just put down his own owl. He probably is going to want to put down some artillery or balloons. And Diesel's put down his boar, which would do fairly well against most of what he's against, but it will get whittled down eventually. It would trade well, but Vin Diesel basically can't afford to trade at all at the moment. And is Vin Diesel going to come in? He's coming in, and he's leaving his chameleons at the back. That's not how you want to do it. You want to keep your chameleons at the front. Your chameleons need to be engaging first in a fight like this. Okay. What does everyone know about everyone else? Seeing owls. No one's seen tier 3s of anyone else. 4 owls coming out for Epicosity. Another 4 from Gentleman. Rubber Dub trying to expand and get more eco, but again, not leaving his army there to protect it. Really worried about someone coming up here, but if he leaves his army here, he can easily move down here. And that was just silly. That was just a waste of 60 food. Okay. Epicosity has his owls out. Gentleman's gonna start coming out now, but they're a bit behind. But it looks like Epicosity isn't going to have much chance to get a lot of value out of them. Vin Diesel going for another meal, and the campfire. Going for this meal a third. Is it third? No, it's the fourth time now. Going to pick off Gentleman's fourth, but probably going to get in trouble for doing so. Gentleman looks like he wants to come in. Right, the boar's trading pretty effectively here, but it can't trade that well. And it can't hit the owls at all. It's roasting so many of these lizards and so many mice, but it will start to get whittled down. Oh, and now Epicosity comes in. But Epicosity's mice have kind of gone the wrong way. He would really rather have them here fighting Gentleman. Gentleman is a threat here, not Rubber Dub. Okay, so that's Owl v Owl, Squirrel v Lizard. And if Epicosity's not careful, his owls are going to getting picked off. Lizards are very quick, very good at catching up to retreating units. Epicosity stayed in there too long. He's lost 2 owls. He's going to lose a third. And that's probably GG. Costy's now starving. Vin Diesel has somehow managed to work his way up to having the biggest economy, but he's surely just going to get run over by the massive army Gentleman has at the moment. And this looks like it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Gentleman. Let's see if I can contact Premium about this. Just in case. He probably won't be able to do anything. Alright. What's this live match then? It's one of the Marauders match. Because the other game we've got coming up is the neutral tile. Who are you supposed to be playing, Adam? Are you supposed to be playing Child? Are you Caroticus? Oh, smiley face dude. What the fuck's smiley face dude? Yeah, sure. Let's play against... I can set up a lobby and you can play against Child. Password is Marauder. Yeah, what is going... Like... I'm confused. Pigeon Rush? I thought you were out of this tournament. Who are you supposed to be playing? Adam, do you have any idea what's going on? Okay, apparently they're playing... Child's playing... Okay, you're not listed, but... Fuck it. Yes, we're doing this. Child versus Pigeon Rush. Yeah, this is from last week. Yep, I've checked the... Oh, and now he left. One moment. Oh. The sheer bloody cheek. He gets us to play live, to cast his game live, that he's playing a week late, and then he goes, wait, one moment. That's... Oh, the balls on that guy. Password, it's Marauder, you were already there. The password is Marauder. It's the same password as when you last joined the lobby. I'm not trying to be mean, but that is really funny. Okay. Child versus Pigeon Rush. A game 2 weeks in the making. With a whole 5 meat on the line. Okay, there we go. Pigeon Rush, Squirrel, Pigeon, Ferret, Skunk, Snake, Barbed Wire against Child with Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Mole, Falcon, Skunk. Says he is funny. I never said I was funny. I would never dare claim to be funny. Squirrel... Okay, so what are we going to see here? Child... It basically doesn't matter what map Child's got, because he's never going to expand. What you're looking at is how easy it is to attack his opponent. And it's not that easy, given that it's double high ground. No, sorry. Yeah, double high ground. That's 1 high ground and then 2 high ground, which makes it the 3rd level. But because there's the regular ground, which is just low ground. Okay. So I'm pretty sure Child's got a good composition here. Mass Lizard seems to just beat everything in Pigeon Rush's deck. But strangely, Child is going for Skunks. Usually Child attacks at least once before he goes to tier 2. Ooh, and he expands. Child's playing very differently. How is not being part of the EU going for us so far? I mean, fine. Hasn't really changed much at the moment, but seem pretty good with it. Can't tell if that's genuine curiosity or if you're trying to make a put down. Didn't you say that you voted for Brexit? Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't vote in the original referendum because I was working, but I probably would have voted out, and I voted for the Tories in the election, who were the primary out party at the time. You still have free visa? No. Don't think so. I mean, I don't go to other countries that often. I haven't tried to go to another country since it happened, but I think we're still in the transition period, so probably still be fine. Be easy. Okay. So, Pigeon Rush is expanding, put down 3 farms. I'm very surprised Child hasn't attacked yet. But, okay, he's starting to get more lizards down. He's doing a bit of poking. Pigeon Rush going for ferrets. I don't think that's going to do too well against a mass tier 1 deck. Okay. Coming around with the lizards, dodging the skunk gas. The toads manage to get on the skunks, but those pigeons heal them up so quickly. But now the pigeons are going down. And now Child's got his high ground. He can do some serious harassment here. He's managed to get 2 farms already. It's not got long for him to reinforce either. The second skunk goes down for Pigeon Rush. This is looking really bad if you're Mr. Rush. Child now has just got a huge army advantage. He's going to come in, probably get the pigs. I think Pigeon Rush sold those ferrets. I don't think they were a wise call here. But just his army in general, like the composition that Child has is so good against what Pigeon Rush has. So this was always going to be a hard ask for Pigeon Rush. He'd have to go up to, like, I don't know, 4-6 skunks, but just basically try and mass skunks as fast as he could. Maybe doing a snake rush would have worked, but you could never really predict that. Okay, this is probably going to be the end of the game. Pigeon Rush has this thing where he never surrenders, even when it becomes physically impossible for him to win. Which, you know, I can respect. But Child's got this game in the bag. I think a comeback is remarkably unlikely. And Child is actually going to kill him. He's not just going to wait for him to starve. Okay. Game 1 goes to the Child. What did I do wrong? I can't really tell you, because this is a tournament game. That would kind of be an unfair advantage. No coaching allowed mid-tournament. Deadly Heaven Wolf. Yep, I remember him. Wish I'd saved that game. Alright. Squirrel, pigeon, ferret, skunk, snake, mine against squirrel, lizard, toad, mole, falcon, skunk. So same decks. I mean, building farms works pretty well. It used to work well when you build Badger. Doesn't work so well anymore. I mean, Pigeon Rush here. What does Pigeon Rush do with his deck? He's surely got to go for just as many skunks as he can, because he just doesn't really have the tools. He's trying to build a poking deck, it looks like. He's got the ferrets and the snakes to poke, and he's got the skunks to hold off mass tier 1. That would be anti-poke. But against the wide variety of tier 1 Child has, I just don't see it working. But we're never going to get that far, as Child comes in and has cleared up 2 farms. His commander goes down. So this is going to be a tough one for Pigeon Rush. They are actually on the same farm count. The economy is even. And Pigeon Rush putting his Warren over here. Mixed bag really. It's so far away from the pigs that he's not getting any defense, but it does let him actually get some stuff out. But now we see moles coming. And there's still only 1 Warren up, which is about to go down. This is looking like a pretty successful squirrel rush from the Child. You know, looking at the map, guess it makes sense. Pigeon Rush never scouted these Warrens, but the map distance is really small. Like, Child could have built his Warrens here, and then he'd be right in Pigeon's face. So Child is going to get that 5 meat. I don't know if any mercenaries are going to qualify. I'd expect maybe this guy, since he probably had a lot of bids on him. I don't know who else. I mean, there, Adam. Okay, in the first game, your loadout just wasn't good against what Child had. You needed a lot more skunks to deal with that amount of tier 1. In the second game, you just didn't scout your opponent, which let him get up to 6 squirrels really easily without you responding. I mean, you do a quick look. You do a scout there, you see the farm. Warren goes down. And then you never scout the Warren again. You never do a full scout. In fact, you scout 2 farms away, but you go for more farms yourself, and you only just now put this Warren down. This is too late. And the way you counter that is by scouting. Pit Rush, how many of these do you expect to do? Because When were you supposed to play Cyanide? You got a buy in the first week. The second week you played Karoticus. Week 3 was that game. Compensation match. Cyanide versus Rush. Okay. What the fuck's a compensation match? I mean, look, Cyanide, if you want to do the live match, then we can do the live match. It is only those two. That's the wrong thing. Cyanide, do you want to do it or not? I think the choice is up to you. But there is a potential for 5 meat. I think you'd still get them. Alright then. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. Lizard, toad, pigeon, mole, ferret, machine gun against squirrel, mole, chameleon, owl, fox, artillery. Interesting decks. Pigeon Rush does scout out this Mole Rush. Is he going to get away with this? He built this a bit too close, it seems. Oh, dear. Oh, the pig survives. He holds his nerve, but I think the mole gets it the second time. Yes, the mole does. Okay, so what do you do if you Pigeon Rush here? Yeah, probably build farms on this side. Cyanide is putting down a warren. Pigeon Rush hasn't scouted, so Cyanide could get away with a lot of stuff here. Oh, and Pigeon Rush loses another farm because this machine gun is too far away to protect anything. So, I think you count that as a successful Mole Rush. Cyanide ended up 2 farms ahead, so definitely successful. Cyanide's going to try and... No, not Cyanide. Pigeon Rush is going to try and come in and get his own counterattack done, but he kind of suicides in. He not only takes a couple of shots from the Cambion as he walks past, but he sees the squirrels on the farm and decides to attack anyway. And now I think he might just be too far behind. Oh, and he's not focus firing with the lizards either. He's just sort of running up and letting them go. This is looking really bad for Pigeon Rush. Cyanide is going to get up to double his army count. Pigeon Rush probably needs to do like a cell. Oh, he's going for the cabin. That's not a good decision by my reckoning. The cabin would have delayed Cyanide by a bit of extra time. Okay, he tries to take the fight head on, but he's just so outnumbered. I think this is going to be game 1 to Cyanide. Drinking alcohol is a sin. Not always. Haven't you ever heard of communion? Okay. The Bullet Hive did nothing the first time because it was too close to the Mole Warren. And too late, so the mole was able to get on it before it was built. The second time, you just built it, you built it in an awkward position. You built it too far away, so that, I mean, you built him in a way where he could easily walk around without being in range. Like, they were good in theory, it was just the spacing wasn't right. Moonroot. Shrek has no last name. How does he marry Fiona? He probably just takes her last name.
If this is your...
Do lamps in game use real electricity? Yes? You know, just because you don't know what their last name is, doesn't mean they don't have one. Okay. I'm kind of rooting for Pigeon Rush. I want him to get at least one win. Okay, we got Lizard, Skunk, Snake, Wire, Mine, Machine Gun against Lizard, Toad, Pigeon, Snake, Fox, Wire. Also, like, surnames weren't always a thing. Like, they could just live in a time before surnames. Okay, Pigeon Rush is being the rusher this time, living up to his namesake, and actually getting some value out of it. It looks like he's going to get this Warren. He's standing in the barbed wire, which is not so good. But I think he's actually going to get some good success here. Alright. He's got 2 Warrens. He needs to retreat and heal his lizards up. In fact, he could just call it a night here. But he can get more harassment done. He's got 5 lizards. That's enough to take down a farm. He can just run past the barbed wire. Pick off a farm. He's picking off barbed wire instead. I mean, it's there. Might as well. But then he does change over to the farms, which, you know, good. This is looking promising for Pigeon Rush. Cyanide is on two farms. Oh dear. Is that my Chromebook lagging or the stream lagging? Anyway, Pigeon comes back in. More barbed wire going down and more barbed wire getting picked off. And Pigeon Rush knocks Cyanide into starving. The 4-farm double. 4-farm double lizard. Making it happen. Alright. Pigeon Rush could do this. One more game. He's getting back in touch with his rush roots. I mean, it was a risky strategy, but it paid off. Not usually recommended, but as long as it works. Alright. Lizard, skunk, snake, wire, mine, machine gun for pigeon rush. Same deck as last time against toad, pigeon, snake, boar, wire, balloon. Cyanide really banking on the anti-lizard tech. Oh, and we got a reply from Mishi. Cyanide trying to rush snakes, but pigeon rush rushing lizards. Probably goes in favour of the guy with lizards. Okay. Mishi says he'll be home in about 20 minutes, so he might get his games. This has actually worked out quite well. And, wow, this is a sight to come back to. I mean, that is definitely going to stop Pigeon Rush from attacking. Speaking of Pigeon Rush, is he going to scout this? No, he's not. Yeah, I got Wargroove. I'll be honest, I didn't really like it. Just found it really frustrating. But it could just be that I'm really bad at it. Okay, so I'm liking this from Cyanide, the ninja expand, because he's blocked himself in here. Can we Dutch Sprachen 9. Do the Merc free for all? Yeah, we still got that game to go. A game for the neutral tile, so there should hopefully be enough time. So Mishi should get back in time, I think. Alright, Cyanide looking at coming in. Toads and snakes are an interesting combination you don't see a lot of. They could do some serious damage. That's a boar. I mean, what else would Cyanide really go for here? It's not great against Pigeon Rush's army, lizards and snakes. But what choice does he have? Okay, If these snakes from Pigeon Rush get out, then Cyanide's in a bad spot. So I think he really needs to try and make something happen. But it looks like he doesn't know about the tier 2 coming out. And he probably doesn't want to attack into lizards. Not to mention he doesn't know how many mines are down here. Maybe if he gets this territory and starts putting up balloons of barbed wire, then he could be in a good spot. The problem is this mill here, he can't build barbed wire there, so that's going to mean that Pigeon Rush always has some territory he can come through safely. This is a lot of barbed wire. This might be a little over the top. Okay, we're coming in. Toads get some okay connections. Yeah, I know I cannot cheer my own channel. I'm not trying to. Okay, more toad connections. Fairly good toad connections, but maybe not good enough. Toads aren't the anti-tier 1 that they used to be. A patch ago, Cyanide would definitely have this with the toads, but now, not so much. Okay, the boar is out, but these snakes just focusing it down. I think this boar bomb is going to be huge, though. That took out 4 tier 2. No, that took out 6 tier 2. That was probably worth it. Okay. But they are coming back, and the boar is not. Income-wise, Pigeon Rush is very far ahead. And unless Cyanide can do some very good snake micro, it's not impossible for Cyanide to win, but it is tricky. It's steadily getting trickier. But Pigeon Rush never scouted this base, so he probably thinks he's way ahead, which might cause him to be overly aggressive or misplay. As far as Pigeon Rush knows, Cyanide is still on this one base. I think this comes down to who loses their snakes first. That's one snake down. Cyanide needs to get... Cyanide needs these snakes to take out the skunk snake from Pigeon Rush. Or even just the skunks. His toads might be able to deal with the snakes. But it's hard to trade efficiently with toads. There's something that you need when you're, ahead in economy. And Cyanide being behind in economy, I think he just needs to sell all this barbed wire and evacuate. I think he definitely needs to sell all this barbed wire. That's 80 food just sitting there when he's supply blocked on tier 2 and tier 1. Okay, spreading out his tags now, but it's not going to be enough. Okay. Pigeon Rush was probably expecting to win there. It shouldn't take him long to figure out that Cyanide's over here. It's the only place he could reasonably be. Losing a lot of lizards running back through that barbed wire. Is he going to lose his skunk? He loses a skunk as well. That was some bad micro by Rush. He could have just taken a wider arc. And finally, Cyanide sells this barbed wire for fractions of its cost. What did you miss, Lego Man? A bit. A bit. Okay, so now it's 3 balloons against mass squirrel, a mass lizard. For now, Cyanide is actually economically in the lead, but his farms are going to start fallowing, and Pigeon Rush has an entire new base to work with. It's going to be hard for Cyanide to come back here. He's sort of shut himself out of the map. Trying to take a ninja expansion this close should not work. But Pigeon Rush has shown that he's not that keen on scouting. So this is actually going to get up. Is that actually going to... Oh, God. What if this works? What if this works? Why the fuck is everyone talking about dogs? Okay. Cyanide needs to stay out of vision here. We gotta keep looking at what Pigeon Rush sees. Oh, he's found it! He spotted it! Barbed wire is proving a real nuisance for Pigeon Rush to deal with. He doesn't have any pigeons, ironically, so he can't heal up his units. Like, this barbed wire is trading pretty alright. Like, Pigeon Rush has just been bleeding so many units off it. He's actually supply blocked now. Honestly, if Cyanide had had an extra 20 seconds there to get his other snake up, he might have been able to pull it off there. But now he's stuck. You see, no. No. Pigeon isn't going to fall for this, is he? Is he? No, thank God. Oh my God, if Pigeon Rush fell for that twice. Okay, he's just taking that meal for himself now. Okay, Cyanide not giving up, but he's gonna starve soon. I don't think he can go for... I'm wondering if he could just go for, like, 2 boars. But I don't think he has the time. I think he'd starve before they got out. So instead he's going for 6 snakes, which is unlikely to work, but who knows at this point. He'd probably be better off selling off... He'd probably sell some of this barbed wire to get them building. Like, Pigeon Rush probably wouldn't move in anyway. There's no point risking it. And this 4 pieces of barbed wire here, like, they're not doing much. Like, they're stopping the Pigeon Rush coming in with his snakes, but... like, Pigeon Rush couldn't really poke those with his snakes anyway, because he's got no high ground vision. Okay. Cyanide doesn't... I can't see how much food's left in that corner farm. These were the last 2 he took, so he's probably only got a couple of minutes left before he starves. going for forward balloons. Is this going to work? I think he sold these balloons a bit too early. You know, I'm really thinking he probably should have gone for the boar idea. Can I fast forward? No. I don't think there's any way for Cyanide to do this. But, on the plus side, the fact that this game takes so long means Mishi should have plenty of time to get back home and send us his games. So that's good. Cyanide, about to starve. There's literally nowhere on the map he can take anymore. Every farm is taken, except for this one corner. Pigeon Rush being extra careful, saving himself a starvation farm. Oh, but he has got some snakes. They are going to pick off Ermil. Like, Cyanide is fighting till the end. Finally, Pigeon Rush comes in. And Cyanide starves. GG Pigeon Rush. GG Cyanide. Good work all around. So, Mishi still hasn't got back to me yet, but that bought him quite a bit of time. Can't believe, I mean, I can. Don't know if you want me to say that or not, but I can believe it. Okay, so this is a big game. Onyx v Brandy versus Gustav. Is Eel here? I don't know. That last game was actually pretty good. I actually like those games. Where am I looking for? Okay, week 4. Onyx is a merc. He's defending the turf. He wants to get 20 meat out of this, which is a big deal. That could move him up a lot. That might get him into the finals of the tournament. Brandy is fighting on behalf of Red, on behalf of the Legion. And Gustav is fighting on behalf of the Penal Squad. Now, Brandy and Gustav, if they win, they will capture one neutral tile. This is especially a big deal for Green because they... Green need this for any hope. I'm pretty sure the math works out that they lose anyway, but if they don't win a tile here, then they definitely lose. Then Blue definitely wins, so... The Royal Knights, who aren't even in this game, stand a good chance of just winning outright if Mochaccino, aka Gustav, can't take a win here. Okay, so what we got? We got Brandy, Squirrel, Lizard, Pigeon, Ferret, Cam, Snake against Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Snake from Onyx, and Mochaccino, who's kind of the protagonist of this game in my head, fighting to keep his team alive, whereas Brandy's just fighting for pride and Onyx is just fighting for meat. He's going with Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Cam, Badger, Machine Gun. Now the Badger is gonna get wrecked in this game where every other player has snakes. Don't see it going too well. What is curious is that in this free-for-all, Mochaccino is the only one to take a tier 3. Brandy's deck in particular doesn't look very suited to a free-for-all, as it's got no really high scaling units. There's no advantage to being greedy in Brandy's deck. The ferrets, you can't really mass ferrets, or mass cams, or mass snakes. Mass snakes and mass ferrets are alright. But it's not like falcons where they can just win you the game by themselves if you mess them up. Okay, and Brandy wanting to come in, he's got the biggest army as he went for 7 farms rather than 8. But he's not going to be able to get much done with it, as Mochaccino has set up a machine gun. He might be able to come in and harass Onyx, but he isn't. Like, Onyx here is wide open. He could pick off 2 Warrens, and he could pick off these 2 Warrens fairly easily. He could pick off at least 2 pigs, I think. But he's focused on green at the moment. Ooh, 4 ferrets coming out for Brandy, as Mochaccino goes for his chameleons and Onyx just goes for moles, but he's leading the charge in economy. Brandy and Mochaccino starting to catch up. 4 ferrets. Interested to see how this works out. It is surprising that no one picked out. It's especially surprising that Onyx didn't pick out. Okay. This machine gun is going down instantly, which is a really big deal for Brandy. He's now got a much easier path to do some ferret harassment. Problem with Brandy is that he's only got 9 lizards to back up these ferrets, which isn't that great. Onyx is now attacking Mochaccino from the other side. He's probably going to lose a snake here. Nope, the snake gets away, but it's on so much... Oh, Mochaccino looked like he wanted to attack there, but he reconsidered. But this is bad for Mochaccino. Brandy and Onyx are perfectly capable of attacking each other. They've just decided not to, which is curious. Like I said before, in free-for-alls you do get bouts of diplomacy. You do get attempts to gang up on people. Maybe the Royal Knights have been in contact with Brandy and Mochaccino. Brandy and Onyx saying go for... saying make sure green doesn't win. Okay. Mochaccino's trying to fight Onyx, but it looks like he's not going to win the fight. And even worse, while that's happening, he's getting hit in the back by Brandy. Green's out. Oh, and Brandy surrenders instantly. There's been some shenanigans going on there. Ooh. Now, is Brandy the spy? Methinks Brandy might be the spy. Because that was a pretty clear throw. Gustav's got to do a 2v1 if he wants his team to have any chance of winning. I mean, it's not like Brandy could have been bought off. Onyx definitely wants to win. The 20 food still matters to him, but Brandy, the only way this would benefit Brandy is if he was a spy. It was a misclick. You misclicked. You accidentally went into the pause menu and clicked on concede. That's not a misclick. That's a whole series of misclicks. All right. The weight of the world is on Mochaccino's shoulders here. Alright, let's see if he can do this. We've got a bit of a change in loadouts. I think most people are staying the same, but Gustav is now going with squirrel, lizard, pigeon, falcon, cam, boar. Now, Gustav must have seen the way they were playing. He must know that it's going to be a 2v1. So, let's see how he... So, his response... I mean, if I knew I was going into a 2v1, I probably would have picked more defences. He's picked none. And now, this is actually quite tricky for Green, because he can't actually attack Onyx at all without dealing with Brandy. He needs to take care of Brandy quickly. Because otherwise, Onyx is just going to eco up too much. And it looks like he might be doing that. He's won the first fight. This ferret is starting to get some value. But he's got 2 Warrens. He can continue to dodge ferret shots. Oh, and now Onyx is coming in to back up his friend. No, Onyx would gladly go for a team up because that guarantees him the win. He gets 20 food if he wins this, which is going to be enough to... which is probably going to be enough to let him qualify for the finals. Like, 20 is a lot of food, especially at this stage in the game. Oh, Green surrenders. How quickly is Brandy? Brandy misclicks again! I mean, yeah, Onyx got bought, but he is a mercenary. He's supposed to get bought. It's Brandy who is the real traitor here. So that settles it. Like, the Royal Knights have it. Let's look at the map here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 6 ahead. After an initial, like, disaster in the first couple of weeks, they've somehow managed to come back from nothing by just buying merc after merc after merc. At one point they were way behind, but looking at this, it's hard to believe it. as they've just got like almost entirely straight wins. How did this happen? Well, I mean, part of it was I did contribute somewhat. I did get paid off to let Araloo win. No, to let Child win in this week. So I was part of it. But at the time, the Royal Knights were behind. I never actually got that bribe, by the way. So, you know, James is... Where the fuck did I click on that? James is gonna be... You know, James is gonna struggle, I think, with diplomacy in the future. An intimate massage. Brandy has clearly been drinking too much brandy. Okay, we still don't have the Mishi games. He's got a lot of meat since he never bothered paying for all that ice cream. So, now what is the question? I guess I play ranked for a bit to see if we get those games from Mishi. I did want to play Armello, to be honest. But I feel like we should at least give Mishi a chance to get back. On the other hand, though, I mean, Mishi, even if he gets the most fantastic 2-0 victory over E308, it's not actually going to change the end result.